What up? How's it going? Let's get to the main. Here we are. That's the wrong main. Sorry, it's been a while. Welcome, welcome. We're back. It's been a while. I've had a kid since then. Oh my gosh. What a time. What a wonderful time. But it sure does take a long time. Anyway, we're back. I want to start off with something super, super cool. I'm very excited for this. Okay, we got a little mail day action. You ready? Okay, here it is. You can't see my address, but it's here. Already ripped it open, ready to go. All right. Got a little something something from Fab Metal Tokens. Oh, other way around. Metal Fab Tokens. Look at this. I'm so excited for this. This stuff is so cool. All right. We got a couple of things, but this is the big one. Okay, I'm going to take it out of the wrapper so you can get a good look at it. All right. It's a resource token. Look at this thing here. Hopefully, let me turn the light off. Look at that. It's a resource token, but pummel to floating. Yeah, you know you're getting pummeled. Oh my gosh. This thing is gorgeous. It's like the perfect color, too, for a Guardian. Man. So I got two of those because why not, right? Gotta have a spare. Then, as a lot of you guys know, I've been playing a little bit of Lexi and paper, doing pretty well with it. So I got some other pretty cool tokens. I got an inertia, a frailty, and a blood rot. I thought the inertia was pretty cool. It reminds me of like Han Solo, right? So I'm sure you guys have seen this one. So it's kind of like in carbonite, right? That was kind of hard to see, but sounds cool. It's got the text of inertia on the back, right? Super, super neat. Then let's look at frailty. Love the guys over at Metal Fab Tokens. They're good people. Oh yeah, yeah. They got it figured out over there. So here's the frailty, and it's got like a little Kodachi. Yeah, your Kodachis don't do anything. That's right, -1. Text on the back, just like the other one. Then I really, really like this one, the Blood Rot one, with the Plague Doctor gold mask. That thing is cool. There it is. There's the focus. But yeah, that thing's pretty neat. And it's on the back too, you know? You gotta pay 3 or take 2. Then, of course, I got one last token I'm gonna show you guys. It is a Seismic Surge token. For when I play the Bravo, and Bravo might be pretty good soon. He's already pretty okay, but man, I'm ready to use these. Get them figured out. Let me put them up real quick. Then we'll do a little recap action of how my weekend went. Newsflash, it went pretty good. All right. Let me see. Let me pull up the list. I'm going to pull up my my fab win rate here. Not my win rate, but my what would that be? On my profile. Yeah, my tournament record. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Ooh, they already updated ELO too. How about that? That's cool. Currently 95 global, 52 country. ELO constructed Limited is not nearly as high, but that's pretty cool. Okay. Let me swap screens over. Go to the main. All right, nice. Actually, let's go to the Talishar screen. It's a little bit bigger. Might be a little bit better for everybody. So here we are. We played the CC event at Gamers Guild in Alabama. That's in Jasper, Alabama. Great people. They were very accommodating. They were kind enough to order pizza for us and stuff too. I thought that was pretty neat. So let's talk about round one. I played Lexi, and I'll show you guys the list in just a little bit. But I played Lexi. Round one, I played against an Icelander. They were local to Jasper. Very nice player. Knew what they were doing. We were playing a little bit. Now, I've been told that Lexi has a pretty good matchup in the Icelander, but I have not had that kind of luck until today, or until this day. In the past, I played against like Lucas Oswald and Rhea Adams and this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, you lost 4 elo to me. That's not bad. That's not bad. Worth it, right? But I played this like arcane style Icelander before, and it's been pretty tough in the past. But recently I started playing Shock Charmers, and that's kind of helped in a situation where, let's say you need to stop and encase or something along those lines. It is perfect for that because you can use your trench and then your Shock Charmers to do the Spell Void too for a proper pivot, right? What's up, Prince Odd? Good to see you, Steven. I'm glad you're here. A lot of locals listed there. Yes, there were a lot of locals, and we'll go over the locals. I'll shout out everybody that we, of course, know. Let's see. Talking to Nathan Crawford. He might hop on for a little bit so you guys can listen to his side, because, of course, he was there. I had to play him in the semifinals, and what a game. What a game. Super, super close. All right, let me pull up the Twitch stuff. Make sure I have everything situated. Okay, so this is the list. Played against the Icelander. It was a pretty good back and forth. We're playing a couple of like fatigue shots and whatnot here and there. Premeditate's really good in the matchup, but Codex of Inertia, you get this card at the right time, get the Inertia, you can really really mess them up because they love that arsenal spot, right? So let's just go over the list just real quick so you guys can know kind of what I was working with. So this is the standard equipment loadout that I prefer to play in every matchup. There are obviously certain scenarios where I want to play Perch Grapplers, Quiver, Abyssal Depth, Shock Charmers, and Trench. These are definitely wizard style things. If I'm playing against Fatigue, I know it's Fatigue. You're going to play the Remembrance Quiver. And then Perch Grapplers when you need to block, right? Like, that's just how that works. So this core almost never changed. The only card that really changed in this core was Premeditate. So I took that out when I needed more Ice Quakes and whatnot. So I was playing 4 Ice, 5 Poppers, and then Sleep Dart. Wasn't playing any Withering Shot, to some people's surprise. But I didn't feel I needed it with the Remorseless. This is a more versatile card in general. You can play this against a lot of things, and it just, like, you know, does some work, right? And the Finch Reaction tech is pretty strong. But anyway, okay, so we're playing against the Icelander. Here's our Wizard matchup. And once I got the first Codex of Inertia set up, I kind of just steamrolled from there. Lots of good Bolton shots where they were forced to put down 2 cards to stop reloads and whatnot. Very happy with that. Playing the Death Touch there just because it is another source of inertia. I only play 2 Codex, so that was a pretty good win. It wasn't particularly close, no offense to the opponent, but it's really not a great matchup for them in the first place. Next, I play against another wizard, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Of course I got to play against another wizard. And it was the person that rode with me to the event. I know a lot of people know the feeling going to an event, having their buddy in the car, right? Of course, you get paired, like round 1, round 2. It's the worst. So I had to do it to him. I had to give him the business. He was on Kano. And very good Kano player, local to us too. Great player. We come to the conclusion that he miscounted his resources and missed on exact lethal. So I got a little lucky there. Literally, I think I was at 20, maybe 18, something, 20 something. And of course, I had to present. He wildfire comboed me. I shock charmers the wildfire because that's what you do. And yeah, we just barely got there. So what probably happened is they got a little tunnel vision because they didn't have the wildfire. They activated Kano and happened to get it off the top, right? So they were like, oh my gosh, okay. I might be able to win this. And then, you know, playing quickly, which we didn't need to, just kind of led to one fatal mistake, and it allowed me to get that win. Is Death Touch used less often due to the 1 cost? Death Touch, if you're talking about in deck lists in general, why you don't really see that card, the other poppers are cards that you can play the immediate turn, right? That's why I was very hesitant about playing it until I watched Lucas Oswald's finish at the Battle Hardened with the card where it just steamrolled, right? Worst part is not the 2-block, surprisingly. Like, 2-block is bad, yeah. But it's still a pretty good popper in the Dromai matchup. My downside is that if you draw it, or 3 of a kind or something along those lines, it's really bad, right? It's not what you want to see when you have tempo, and this is like maybe one of your only attacks in your hand, right? At least if you draw something like a Command and Conquer, you can immediately play that, and it demands some form of respect from your opponent. Okay, so going back to the Kano, we do the exact same thing against Kano that we do against Icelander. The only thing that I changed here was instead of Fatigue Shot, since they don't play any attacks, I play Sleep Dart, because it does technically have text if they're trying to do this mid-range plan with you, but most of the time it's another arrow, right? And this, it's better than no text at all, right? Okay, next round we play against Jean, also another local. Huntsville packed the heat at this tournament, I'll tell you what. So Jean was on Kadachi 5. Very good 5 player. He just recently won a Pro Quest the previous weekend, so we know he's a good player. It was draft, did very well. Been playing 5 for a long time. Also been kind of testing Lexi a little bit here and there, right? Good aggro player. So we're playing, and he wins the die roll. Chooses to go second, as all 5 should, against Lexi. We play, I do my double arsenal. You know, something like a Remorseless, and then I think it was an Icequake. Yeah, Arsenal and Icequake. And their 4-card hand ended up being Brand into Kadachi, which I don't block these, into Mounting Anger, right? So the 1-for-4 go again, banish card from your hand, it gets +1. I blocked that one with a 3-block that I didn't need, and Hornet Sting. Okay, so that's pretty good. Stop the Mask and Momentum trigger. Then it goes Kadachi again into Phoenix Flame for free because of the 3 Draconic Chain Links. So you have your Brand, then it made your Kadachi Draconic into Mounting, right? So that's the 3. So Phoenix Flame, I don't block these 2, and then of course the last card is Salt the Wound, right? So I'm just like, oh my gosh. So if Salt comes in for like 7, I'll go down to 27 on turn 1. They also draw a card, because I can't block that. The rest of my hand is 2 blocks. It was 2 Winter's Bite and then a blue, right? It was a blue arrow. So I'm like, well, I'm not giving you the whole hand to stop your play. I need to be able to play these cards to be able to like pivot back. So they draw the card, get a pretty good arsenal. I want to say it was something like an E-Strike or a Breaking Point or something along those lines. Some relevant disruption. And yeah, you remember, you sat next to me, Tin Man. My hand was brutal. It was actually 4 blues. Almost unplayable. I was just trying to lean on the fact that I had Icequake, which 5 doesn't usually like, right? So it did not end well after that, as you can probably imagine. I actually got Jean to single-digit life totals, but when you're doing an aggro mirror style game, even if you go to single-digit life totals, it doesn't particularly matter because he was in the driver's seat the whole time. He just destroyed me. And the whole game, he was like, I'm sorry. I know what I'm doing to you. And I'm like, it's okay. It happens. It happens. So that was a loss. Jean won that fair and square. Next up, I had to play out of my mind. Because I had to play against a Dory who was on Dawnblade. But they were straight fatigue. Their main game plan, it seemed like, was definitely the Axe build. But they had the Dawnblade to be able to pivot back. And their plan was actually very, very good. I was very afraid about getting fatigued. Luckily, I had the knowledge that they were on that fatigue. So I was able to play Quiver of Abyssal Depths. This card was the all-star this weekend. It was so good. Okay? So normally, this is what I play against Dory in general anyway, besides the Quiver of Abyssal Depths. I do play more cards. I usually side out the fatigue shot. But besides that, no fatigue shot. I'm still playing the Perch Grapplers just in case I need to block. The game goes a little bit longer. You need your block value. But just to push a little bit extra when you do finally get your 3 of a kind, or you can set up a Rain Race 3 of a kind. The Quiver Wrestling Leaves, I find to be a little bit better against more traditional Dories that are playing more attack reacts and less defense reacts. But this player was playing a lot of defense reactions. So we're playing full 9 Steelblade Shunt, right? So that's pretty brutal. They had Tunic, and they would Tunic, Steelblade Shunt, super efficient defense reaction setup. Yeah, I had to fight super, super hard for that. Luckily, I was able to get to a second cycle late game with Codex of Inertia, Codex Frailty plays that were playing things like Command and Conquer and whatnot, so I was able to force discards out of them, and we ended off with a Rain Razors 3 of a kind second cycle play. And the final turn, they at this point already had 2 Dawnblade counters on there. I was not blocking because I had a life threshold because they had been blocking the entire game, right? So we started kind of swapping licks at this point, and they started taking a little bit more damage, and I was like, this is my opportunity, okay? So they go down to where they have 1 card in hand, no available resources, right? And I haven't blocked. Let the first attack hit. Second attack, this is going to bring me down to 1. The only possible card that they can play, and this is where it's important to look at your opponent's graveyards to be able to evaluate what their possible threats are, especially like a Dory, what it could possibly be. So I was like, okay, the only card that this could be that could possibly kill me is an Iron Sun response, right? What's the best thing you can do against that in that situation? It's just don't block, right? So very weird situation, but I had 2 blues, Codex of Frailty, and let's see, Rain Razors, an Arsenal, and a 3 of a kind. That's what it was. So I was ready to go. I end up playing the Codex of Frailty, pitching the or not pitching, but discarding one of the blues because I already had the extra cards with the 3 of a kind. Then I was able to get one of the crazy arrows to start off my turn. So I had a 3-arrow turn while they were at 10, and I was just able to pressure so much that they couldn't do anything about it. So that was an awesome game. Also, like I said, Quiver, All-Star. The game was almost fatigue. Can't stress this enough. This card's great. Played against the Dory player at the PK past Saturday. They were very competent and personable. Was a fun match. Yep, they were super fun to play against. They were super nice. Just a pleasure, right? But then, of course, right after that, right after we play Fatigue Dory by Steven, we play against yet another Huntsville local, Adam, who was on Fatigue Katsu. And I'm like, oh my god. So we call it Ninja Turtle, or at least I do, right? because you're turtling up. He was telling me afterwards, I think, Tin Man, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was on like 24 main deck defense reactions, which is absurd, right? But he's playing stuff like Wax Off, like Wax On, Wax Off combo. And Wax Off is a blue 0 cost, right? So it's going to turn on your Kodachis. And the deck basically played like Kodachi, Snatch, or something along those lines, right? And still had some of the combo potential in the deck. So it would play like some surging and whatnot, but it was mainly just to like full combo in one turn if they allow if you as the opponent allow the Katsu to hit, they can go do a combo line, knock your life total down super low, and then at that point you will fatigue based off of the Kodachis, because it's not efficient to block Kodachi in the slightest, right? Unless you have something like Rampart of the Ram's Head Crown of Seas, which obviously is not being played, and then Valiant Dynamo. That's another one. So we gotta look out for that next meta. We might have some Valiant Dynamo gamers with all the warriors. So Tin Man, you said I got the Death Touch off of the Codex. I seem to remember it was that. I think I might have been recalling this matchup because it actually was very similar to that Dory match because, you know, it was fatigue into fatigue. So you may be right. Either way, it was a brain teaser for sure. So against Adam, we're playing. It's probably at this stage of the game, there's been like 6 turns from turn 1. He's hitting me with Kodachi, you know, hitting me with some attack. I block the mass momentum triggers depending on if they have extra cards in their hand or if they would use their Snapdragon Scalers. It doesn't make a lot of sense to block a, you know, no on-hit card if the on-hit is only mass momentum. They already have an extra card in hand, right? You're giving them selection, yeah, but I knew his deck was more defense reaction, so giving them the option between one defense reaction and another wasn't that big of a deal, as opposed to like taking more damage from the additional card off mass momentum. So still very, very efficient, obviously, but not that scary in that situation. And ended up mattering a lot, the block value and making sure I didn't block or overly block in that matchup, because the game, spoiler alert, ended with 1 arrow. The last arrow in my deck is what killed him. So quiver again, purple quiver, good. So, but what I was going to say, very beginning of the game, first 6 turns, first 7 turns, something along those lines, I couldn't get a single damage in. The first damage that I got in was when he went Kodachi Snatch. I blocked with a card and Hornet Sting, and then the Hornet Sting dealt 1 damage and got him 39 while I was in the 20s. That was the first damage, and we were just laughing about it. It was just like, golly, I can't get past you. And then eventually it got to the point where, you know, he started running out of the defense reactions, doing your thing. I played the whole deck because I knew I needed every single one of these dang cards, because I saw him playing this and beating other Lexis, right, that weren't prepared, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is rough. Now, I had some awkward hands. One of the downsides is if you fat stack your deck like this, with 16 blues and 11 yellows, like, the likelihood that you're going to get 4 red hands is extremely high. So sometimes you just, especially with like Icequake, that makes the math super awkward. So I would be like just swinging 1 arrow a turn and be a 1-cost arrow come in for 6. You know, he would double block or something along those lines, and I would arsenal an Icequake and try to hope for a bigger turn following, right? So I'm kind of staggering my turns to do as much efficient damage as possible instead of doing average damage every turn, if that makes sense. So that's super important for any deck if you are playing against a blockout deck. But that was, at the time, probably the hardest game I've ever played in my life. It still might be, just because of like how I had to sequence, how I had to make sure my pitch stack, I was like tracking where my last Rain Razors was, where if he attacked me when the Rain Razors was in my hand, I was just dead. So I was having to like play around where that was in the pitch deck. Man, what a game. What a game. So we just narrowly get there. Almost at Zaxby's. It was exactly the last arrow, but it was like 1 point over, right? So that Hornet Sting, if I technically missed, I would have still been okay. That's why I'm kind of thinking about this. But yeah, that was a crazy game. Next, at this point, we're 4-1. We play against Noah Geiger. That's a mirror. I lose the die roll. Noah gets to go second. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if I lose this with my win streak, I'm probably still okay. I might still get top 8, but of course we're still going to try. So in the mirror, what I do is, and this this deck list will be posted for anybody who feels like playing it. This is built off of experience and lots of testing and love and whatnot, and I think this is where it's going to be, right? So last iteration of Lexi for me. But in the mirror, the way I have the ratios set up, right, is we're playing double Command and Conquer, we're playing Arctic Incarceration. I only have one. And that was, I went back and forth on playing 2 Icequake versus 2 Arctic Incarcerations a lot. I don't like this card in the mirror, but I do like this card in the mirror. And I definitely like this card being a 3-block and then a pivot play, right? So this was kind of the idea, is like I'd play 1 Command and Conquer in the mirror, 2 of these, or vice versa. I ended up here. Fatigue Shot always has some text. You could play Sleep Dart, it could just blow your opponent out, but sometimes it just has no text, right? So in the mirror, I have 2 boots. Obviously you can't play 2 boots, but if you are going first, you just play Perch Grapplers. That's all it is. So I went first, I played Perch Grapplers, and it was amazing. Me being a blocky boy with my Guardian brain, of course, you know I like my Perch Grapplers. Love them, love them. And of course it ended up mattering, because you throw down the 3-block, right? Any 3-block that you need, plus the Perch Grapplers, you got some tempo. So, played against him. Super close game, honestly. It ended up being, I saw just a couple more of my power cards, right? So there's 9 power cards that you typically look for in that matchup. Of course, it's 3 of a kind. You see more 3 of a kinds, you generally get there. Doesn't mean you will, but in general, you know, it's a lot more favored. Rain Razors, when you are still mid-game to early game, card is incredible. You know, 0 for 4. Late game card can get you killed. I've heard a lot of arguments about cutting Rain Razors in the mirror. I've tested it. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Just keep the card. Card's great. Never take it out. And then Codex Frailty, of course, you can 9-block whatever your opponent's doing. Play this card, instantaneous pivot, especially when you're playing Tunic and you have the Tunic counter. Throw a Remorseless at them. Yeah, we love that. So that's pretty much what happened. I got a good Arctic. Eventually, it was like some mid-game, statistically likely draw. I ended up drawing it. Block with what I can. Get a free Arsenal with this card, right? So I play it, get an Arsenal. They ended up drawing an all-red hand, but fortunately for Noah, he had 3 of a kind in his hand. So he was still able to play the card because it was Tunic turn and have a decent turn. So it wasn't just like a blowout when I played this card, but sometimes it is. So try the card out. So we end up getting there against Noah. Top 8, I'm 5-1. I think a 3rd seat at this point. And I get to play against another local. They're on Katsu. So it's my 2nd Katsu, but they are on like full aggro Katsu. Now this was open deck list in this tournament, so we were able to see each other's tech and whatnot. I noticed he was not on Warmongers, right? So I usually play Trench into Katsu because Warmongers is almost a staple in that deck at this point. But when they weren't on Warmongers, I immediately was like, yep, we're playing Tunic, easy peasy. And it definitely mattered because turn 3, I drew that 3 of a kind when I knew Tunic was coming up. Amazing. And I went 2nd against the Katsu. You know, they attacked me a lot turn 1. I think Katsu's usually they want to like get some damage out first. They attacked me a lot. I full blocked with my entire hand, didn't get any loads. Wasn't going to risk that at all, right? and their Katsu deck was playing a lot of like the natural combos. So they natural comboed me like 3 times that game. But luckily being second and then finding that 3 of a kind was able to put me well ahead of where I needed to be. And I was able to block as much as I could, and I was able to like have a pretty good life lead at the point where I could take a bunch of damage off of like a natural combo and finish off the game. After that, I played against Nathan, and what I want to do is I want to look at this game, right? So we'll kind of review this together, and this was a great game. I have props to Nathan. I have never beaten Nathan, with him being on Dromai and me on Lexi. So while we're here, why don't we get Nathan in here? Let's introduce him real quick. Everybody knows who Nathan is. Nathan.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
What's up?
Say hi to the stream. We are streaming.
What up, stream?
So what I'm going to do, Nathan, is I'm going to share my screen for you so you can see what's going on. I just kind of been going over my ProQuest experience, right? So I kind of went through like my matchups. I'm at the point where I'm talking about you, and I was just saying that this was probably one of the hardest games I ever played in my life, especially with it being an unfavored matchup. And I've just never beaten you, with you being on Dromai and me on Lexi. We've tested this matchup many times, and I just can't get there. So there was a lot of luck on my side. I'm not going to deny that at all. And upping the popper count and having the extra ice, that's exactly what I needed. Right. So do you want to talk about how your day went just very briefly? While
yeah, I can a little bit, sure. So let me pull it up so I can kind of I'm just going to like skim over it real quick. So round 1, I played against I believe it was a Bolton. That one's pretty easy because I have a lot of reps into Bolton, because of Josh. And so we took that one down, and then we played against a mirror match. Ended up taking that one down, and then we played against Max, which was actually a very interesting match. He basically built the construct in literally 2 turns. As crazy as that sounds, and then literally did the whole high octane twin drive shenanigans and like pushed 40 damage in 1 turn. It was 32-7, and I was able to still win that game.
Yeah, I remember watching that one over both of y'all's shoulders, right? And it was wild. I was looking at live totals, and you were like at 4, I think, when I came over there, and he was at like 20 something. I was just like, what is going on?
I had the mirror guy and the Yendera, and I was just poking for 3 damage every single turn. And I just ended up basically I had a very fortunate series. I was running Remembrance in the matchup, which I think is wrong now, but at the same time, it did kind of save me in a couple spots. But I drew it, and then he didn't know to kind of like keep pushing damage, and he chose to set up while I had the no block in my hand. So it just really worked out for me in a couple spots. But it was a very good game. And then I ran into 5, which is obviously pretty bad in Dromai, but we got that one. We had a good series of turns. We had an accidental tumble tie. Played a tome.
How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, I played a tome, and tumble tie was in my hand. I was like, I'm kind of winning this game. Like, I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna pitch it for tome. But then we ripped the blue off of the tome. So I was like, I will play it. I was like, yeah. And so I blew up the mask and just kept pushing, and we got there. Then I lost against Lexi. And then the last matchup was another Lexi, and we won that one. And then into top 8, we played the Lexi that we lost to earlier. We got that one. And then the last match in top 4 was against you.
Very nice. Okay, sorry, I was trying to turn you down just a little bit for the stream, because you were redlining me. You just got a lot to say,
That's it.
Loud guy.
That's
it.
That's it.
All right, hold on. All right, so you can see this, I assume, right? So
right now you're just showing your Discord picture.
Y'all are good to go whenever you're ready.
My Discord picture. That's all that's on there? Come on. This isn't good.
That's it.
If y'all need us to just get quiet for anything, just tell us to shut the hell up.
So screen 1. Okay, maybe this. Is this working now?
It is not. Let me leave the call and then call me back real quick. I think it's a Discord issue. Sure. Yep, just call me right back.
Technical difficulties. Because we take a little bit to like start this off anyway. Right. So let me stream that again.
There we go. See,
better? Okay. So me and Nathan up here. So Nathan with his battle hardened Hong Kong. Super cool Matt. Here I am. I'm playing I'm gonna pause this just for a second. So I'm playing the trench in this matchup. I think that's super important, right? Because if they blow up your hat with tone multi, you don't just immediately lose the game, right? So that's my reasoning for playing it. It also has AB, so you can technically like have an out in the very, very late game if you somehow are fatiguing them by damage, and their only out is burn them alls. So I don't know if you agree with that, but I think it's
just risk mitigation. How much do you want to hedge into Tumultai? I think it's perfectly fine.
Yep. So this is the Gamers Guild stream. They did a great job. They have a cool little setup. So we're playing. I want to like. Yeah, here we'll do the speed just a little bit because I play pretty slow here because we're not timed. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is good. So. Okay, so I pitch Infecting Shot, I load a Falcon Wing, and then my first card, I want to say, was an Ice Quick. So I was getting that prepared. Your Seeker's Mets here. So I'm just trying to set up as well as I can. What are you thinking in these beginning turns? Like, what's your kind of like thought process here?
Well, you pitched a red to load the Falcon Wing, which gave me the go-ahead to go ahead and pitch the D-React out of my hand. Because I had, I think, a 2-block in my hand, but I was like, you know what? Since you pitched the red, there's not really much to worry about. And it went away.
That was stream did?
Yep. But yeah.
Good old Discord. Is it back?
No, now it's doing the thing it was before.
Okay. I have a plan for this.
Sure.
Let me. Actually, we're just gonna leave and come back.
Okay.
All right, there.
Nope.
Ah, shoot. All right, let's go to a different chat.
Yeah.
Go to our
content creation.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
But good to see you.
Okay.
Unbanned Ball Lightning. So that is Matt W. I'm pretty sure, unless you like change your name or something. But yeah, of course, Matt W has been basically my Lexi mentor for a long time. So big shout out to him. I wouldn't have gotten 9th at Vegas if it wasn't for him basically just saying, "Hey, play these good cards." So what's up, Diomedes?
Yeah.
Appreciate the congratulations. Ironic, we were both on got our invites with the Ranger. I know we're both the Guardian guys, and we beat we got our ProQuest wins with some Rangers. So Diomedes got his with Azalea, and I was telling Nathan beforehand, I was like, I swear to God, if I don't win this with Lexi, I'm swapping to Azalea and just beating all these other Lexis. That's the idea.
Yep.
So. All right, cool. So you can see this now.
Yep, we're good. So yeah, I was just ditching the D-React because I knew, it was kind of, I was safe from any kind of like late pressure or anything. There is an idea to like hold the Seeker's Mitt, depending on how the hand lines up. If I think you're gonna Arctic me on turn 0, you had the Popper there, which is pretty bad. For me, you got the clear on the Chromine. However, I did have a backup plan of running, getting that action point back and then following up with a dust up. So that turn, I planned it pretty well as far as like, what could possibly happen. If you didn't pop the Chromie, obviously, if the dust up hits, I get an extra damage off the Ashwing if I choose to convert.
Thinking about that line, though, it almost, because I'm pretty sure I have an Endless Arrow in my hand here, it might have been better to save it for your next dragon if you had a next dragon, risk management wise. But I mean, if you can get the chroma off, you probably just pop it every time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any ash currently, and that's why I'm really
Right.
leaning into this dust up right here, because I actually don't want to convert. I just want to bank the ash in
Right.
arsenal if it's possible. So I don't think you have a real threat of an additional dragon between the lines. I mean, I could furnace and then play like Kyloria. It is possible.
Right.
But I just chose to keep the ash because cranking out Ovi at such low ash is just not where we want to be.
Sure. Yep. So there's that ice quake I was talking about. So I flip that over, give you the gift of winter, right? And this turn I think is pretty interesting, right? Because I don't immediately slam the ice quake. I actually don't think it's that good to slam the ice quake in this case because you already have a frostbite. That's already a card out of your hand in general most of the time, right? So it can really stumble you. I pitch a blue. And I think this is the turn where at the end I play the ice quake because you were just letting all of this damage hit. And I want to make it to where you don't just have like a full 4-card hand. I want it to be a little bit more difficult for you to be able to develop a board. Yeah, so that's why I play it in this turn. That might not look good. It's also very good with this Endless Arrow too, because it makes it a lot harder for you to block that out, and it gives me another good arsenal set up, right?
Yeah, I was just when you didn't play the ice quake, I was just kind of sensing a little bit of weakness. And so that's why I was electing to take the damage and kind of make a type of pivot. But then you played it and you did just kind of force the cards, which
right.
All in all I was kind of okay with. The net result kind of progressed the game in the way that I wanted to. Just block, get you off of an arsenal. So now I have the ability to make a pivot and take less damage to do it.
Right. Yep. I'm gonna read a little bit of chat. So Matt W says I don't listen to logic. I got lucky that the 3 oaks didn't brick. That's fair, I will tell you this though. I am on like 42 arrows, even with all of this extra stuff, right? Because I take out premeditate in this matchup to be able to make room for the ice quakes, because the ice quake is a little bit more, just a little bit more useful, I think. Like obviously Ponder is insane, but Frostbite is probably worth more than a Ponder token is against Dromai specifically. You can disagree with me, by all means. Disagree with me, Nathan.
No, I agree.
Okay.
You really need that consistency. You need the ability to that was the wife calling right there. And then I dropped $20 out of or $40 out of my pocket and had to load that back into Arsenal, aka the wallet. But
yep.
Yeah. So right now I'm just looking at taking damage and trying to establish some tempo. I think I have a Kyloria in Arsenal and a Kyloria in hand. So I'm just basically trying to take the minimum here and basically establish a double threat. And obviously you have to block the bolt and shot on 3 of a kind.
Right. Definitely makes sense. So I drew Codex here. I'm a little sad to see that go because I had that death touch ready to go. I was wanting to channel my inner Lucas Oswald and just start death touching the crap out of you, but not this turn, right? Or not next turn, I guess. Yeah, I hear that you're a 45-15 kind of guy. I am usually too, but I don't know. Those ice quakes were awesome this game. And then the extra poppers, also just awesome.
Yep. And so this line right here basically wins the game if you don't have the popper, because just double card draw. It gets so out of hand really quick, but you had the popper. So I was just trying to steal the game right there. I didn't have any other play that I really could do. I couldn't establish the Rake the Embers because you still have your Hornet Sting. So the Ashwing value is just a net negative overall in that situation. But so very unfortunate to run into the popper in that specific spot. But it definitely could be worse. So at least we have a Kyloria on the board to kind of give you something to shoot at. You're kind of in that situation where you have to respect it.
Right. So Austin made a good point. He says that Winter's Bite has the exact same value. This is what he says. I don't know if I completely agree, but I do see you getting more cards out of the opponent's hand because of that reason, right? He said Winner's Bite has the exact same value versus Dromai at 0 cost, and I assume he's talking about the yellow ones in addition to the blues because those are just automatic, right? So being able to flip and then immediately get a card out of the opponent's hand, they're already down kind of 2 cards, and then of course Matt W says until they have a thaw, which we know you're playing one. I saw that you were playing at least one. I want to remember correctly, but.
Well, not only that, but even if you don't factor in the thaw, basically that statement is correct. It is more value into Dromai on a numerical value, but into every single other matchup, it's strictly worse because you're not pushing damage at the same time. Yeah. You know, you can Winner's Bite Bravo all you want, but it's not going to progress the game in the direction that you want to. You really need to push that damage and stuff like that. Not that you would even run that in the Bravo matchup, but you just have to be able to push damage.
Okay, so you would, in that case, because you want to play like all the cards in the Bravo, you just got to be able to set up like those big turns.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't actually do any, like if that's all you're doing against Bravo, it does nothing. It doesn't get a card out of them like for the longevity of the game or anything, right? So yeah, I just settled on the Ice Quakes specifically because it does, you know, push your primary game plan, which is obviously to kill your opponent, right? So, all right, we'll continue. So another 3 of a kind. Like I said, I drew pretty well this game. I had the poppers when I needed them. If I didn't, that was a big problem. And give some props to Nathan too. He's over here checking my graveyard, constantly keeping track of where my poppers are and whatnot. And I'm also doing the same thing too, ratio wise, where we know that I have, like later on in this game, I'm gonna draw my 5th popper. And I get it right when I need it in that final position. So we're both making plays that are playing around, like trying to manage that risk of me drawing it and you know, getting blown out by something. You're trying to kind of play around that as well, right? So I'm over here, I'm playing the Ice Quake, trying to present as much disruption as possible, killing your Kyloria. And then, of course, you're going to block the Endless Arrow because the card is super, super high value.
Yep. Just trying to keep you off an arsenal, and then make sure that when you have kind of like a lesser turn, like you're throwing blue arrows or something like that, I'll try to leverage that opportunity to kind of establish some type of board state, because I am sitting on 2 ash, so we're pretty comfortable in that regards.
Right.
I think this is a blue drill shot, and we just don't care about that, so we just take the 2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have life totals in this, but so I can't.
Yeah,
exactly
that would be fortunate. I just noticed it though. We didn't put the counter on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
so there's the double dragon.
On, 1 tick on the misplay on my side.
Yeah. This game did not happen in the UK.
It's like, hey. Flip that to 2. Hey, you do that.
Yeah. But so yeah, just throwing out 2 dragons that you actually care about, and I decided to basically push the 3 damage and then keep the mirror guy back and not run it into a popper in case that was what was going to happen. Yep. And then you flip over the Arctic. So now I'm immediately thinking, okay, we're just going to block every ounce of damage that we possibly can to try and preserve life, and then kind of break your arsenal until you decide to play it. So
this turn here, I want to clarify. So the reason that I Rain Razors, this is a blue Bolton shot that I arsenal previously. I wanted to make sure that, or not make sure, I wanted like something just in case I drew a Rain Razors, because I knew I was probably getting close to drawing a Rain Razors. And that's why I sent it at the mirror guy, because the guarantee of killing that off of like my blue arrow, that's super good, right? Like you don't want to throw a red arrow. So I just, for the stream's sake, want them to know that, hey, that's not a red one. You know, we're not just throwing red Bolton shots at mirror guy. Yeah. But mirror guy is surprisingly annoying for this iteration deck, because I do have so many dang poppers, right? Because at this point I've already used 3. I got 2 more, right? And I want to get the value that I can out of it.
So in this situation, like, I think you sent this at me, and I was actually very excited that you did. I think it's slightly better to actually take out the Yindarai here, because you can Arctic anyway, and on a 4-card hand, you've already given me a Frostbite. It locks my turn down, and you don't give me the opportunity to block.
Sure.
Right? So I just have to pass turn unless I have a blue. So I kind of like sending that arrow or this arrow, whichever arrow. It doesn't matter. I think it might have been slightly better to take out the Yindarai because when you threw the damage at me, I was ecstatic to get the opportunity to block.
No, I can definitely see that. Just because I am representing the Arctic there.
And the goal of this was just to block down to 1 card. So basically, you either give me the Frostbite, or you play it, or I get to play the card in my hand, and I'm happy with either resolution. There's no waste, if you will. And you chose not to play it, which is probably correct in that situation. I think that's a rabble here into Yindarai.
Yeah, I think the importance of this play, though, is generally with your ice cards, we don't play as many, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to kind of like cycle your turns together to get more value out of your ice cards, you're going to get, if you do it like this, where you flip, give them a Frostbite, don't play it immediately, follow up turn, play the card, right? You're getting 2 turns off of the 1 card. Like, that's super good. And
right.
like I said, I'm only playing 4, right? So as many turns as I can get giving you Frostbites, I think that's pretty important. And because I still have Snapdragon Scalers here, I was more than happy to take the Heat Seeker trigger. It just kind of gum up the arsenal because I know I'm going to use them anyway this follow-up turn.
Right. Yep, and here's the 0 cost play, and I think you have the popper again, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not.
Nope.
I might get 7 damage in here. And given the situation, I'm actually really liking it right now because it's very easy to just block the that's a blue infecting shot, I believe. So I just block 3 and it's
I'm pretty sure.
I think I remember it being blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I just blocked 3 on 3. That's why I was so excited. I was like, oh, this is an easy block. And then you go into that and then play that. And then I think I do have the blue here to counter this play.
Yeah, you did. Blue dust up, baby. Card's insane.
And then we swing the Yindi for 3 and it gets popped. So these poppers are coming in at pretty good times.
Yeah.
But we've also been very fortunate of having good answers to the disruption, aka having the blue there in that Arctic situation, where it would otherwise just completely shut me down.
And getting the ice too, staggering these ice turns.
Yep, basically I had a Frostbite almost every turn for the first.
That's what we want.
7 or so. Yeah, I mean it was good. But this is my favorite in this situation right here. A 3 of a kind without an arrow in arsenal is actually not scary at all. Even with the pump on Icequake, I'm just going to wait for a Bolton shot and block it. That's basically how I treat the situation. That's a sleep dart. I've already decided that I'm very likely going to, but you don't play the Icequake here, which once again kind of shows weakness in the hand, or that you're trying to throw it onto a Bolton shot. So I don't think I entirely cover up this this sleep dart. I think I kind of disrespect it.
Right. Yeah, in this situation, no, you do cover it.
Oh, I do block it. Yeah.
Breaking that Frostbite. I see.
That's probably why I did it. Yeah. Oh, you didn't give it go again. That's what it was. That's why I respect it. Yeah. And then we just try to maintain that board state. That was a super
lackluster 3 of a kind turn, but
oh yeah,
it was.
And I think I had a snatch in hand right there to follow up after the Azalea, and then you got the pop, which was really bad for me.
All right, so this one is 8. Pretty sure to go again.
Yeah, seeing this, I immediately just default to I'm going to try to cover up as much damage as possible, and
what happened?
Oh, I lost something.
Oh, there it is. Oh, they were moving over to the big screen. That's right. I remember them changing that.
Oh, nice. Oh, looks. It's a little blurry, but hey.
Yeah, we can tell what those cards are. Kind of.
Yep. Yep.
So you full
There's
block
the first
8
thaw.
this.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, he's gonna get the focus right.
You full block that. Very fortunate. Sink below there.
Unfortunately, I get the thaw into the graveyard when I think you've played literally every ice card in your deck, except for Winter's Bites. So I don't think I actually get to leverage the ability on the thaw. I just threw an extra 2 block in my deck, which was kind of unfortunate, but
Matt
we get the
W
draw on the
says he
snatch.
likes when his opponents play thaws and don't run, and he doesn't run ice quakes.
Yep. All right,
Okay,
so we chose the
looks like
Arsenal
it's gonna
there
stay
because of
blurry,
the codex.
unfortunately, but we'll
That's
try to
okay.
figure this out. So it looks like a red infecting shot. Gonna give me 2 cards. So this is codex play. This is probably one of the more standard hands that Lexi typically plays. I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to play that Death Touch. Oh yeah, Rain Razors. Busted hand. You're telling me it's blue, 2 arrows, Rain Razors, and a codex? Oh my lord. I couldn't have drew it up better myself, but I did.
Yeah, this is a really good turn. Don't have to burn the snaps. Yep, you get plenty of damage in, and I basically just look at this Bolton shot, and there's basically nothing behind it. We've already gotten the Blood Rot Pock, so I think we just block out the drill shot and try to keep life as high as possible. And I think we have either a Zero Cost Dragon or a Snatch in Arsenal once again.
Right. My bit rate is almost non-existent. Back.
Yeah, but that I should have probably taken one there because that drill shot from earlier hit, but I don't think it was like huge.
Yeah.
The trade-off would be I would still have Furnace right now, so I would just be at 1 less life, but I would actually have access to Furnace. Not sure if that actually is a benefit or not. Who knows?
Right. You know, this is where we start getting even slower. Yeah, full red hand, I guess.
Yep, I see that as just a sigh of relief. This is a good spot. We're going to try to establish something here. I think we fully disrespect this and kind of save a sink blow or some type of D-react for one of these 4s.
Yep.
And go from there. Oh, no, this is the Chroma into CNC. Yeah, okay. So I basically see that you are on the zero cost arrows, and you will be establishing an arsenal this next turn. So that makes me prioritize the CNC, kind of like leverage an amount of tempo. And you're also, what I'm looking for in your graveyard right now is how many 3 of a kinds you've played. Because I don't want you to be able to. Yeah, I didn't want you to block the CNC and then basically, which the way that I look at it is, I'm playing the Chroma, I'm going to 0 ash. So the CNC serves multiple purposes. I get to replenish the ash to 2, and then also put pressure on your hand, which kind of like fills in all the wickets. So I think we just take a lot of damage here to make a really good play.
Right. Finally saw that tumble tie. Right when it didn't matter.
Yep.
Hey,
that card, I could have used that card about 20 life ago.
Yep. Trying to see what the life total is. I think I finally got you down to single digits because I was kind of trailing you for a long time in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, I let the CNC hit on this one because my hand is just too strong not. And this is, I think, the super critical turn.
Yeah. This is the turn where I don't know if I messed up, but it could have been a mistake, and we'll break it down when it actually happens.
Yep.
You can pause it on the codex, and I'll break it down.
Yep. This is the reason I wanted to get you on and talk about it, because this turn was like, it's really cool to analyze.
So you have 2 cards in hand. Right now, for
Yes.
some reason I'm thinking you only have 1 for some
Yeah, I
reason.
should have represented a little bit better.
And
That's on me.
and no, I before I made blocks, I asked you and you scoot it to the side, I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
we
was sitting there
verified
in the tank.
beforehand.
I was like, You're off of snaps, so I'm not really too terribly concerned." Yeah, there it is. And I ask, and you have 2 cards, and I'm not too terribly concerned about the Heat Seeker on hit. So if I'm not mistaken, I actually just disrespect this arrow, or maybe just like take 3 or take. No, I block it out. Okay. Don't necessarily know if
I
I
think
agree
this
with
is a
that,
codex
but
turn.
yeah, this is
That's why
the
it's
turn.
important. Yeah.
Now
That's right.
this is where I knew something was up. If you want to pause it real quick, I'll kind of like explain what's happening here.
Yep.
And this is where the mistake happens. So you led with the Heat Seeker first, which should have realized. I should have realized at this moment that if you intended to just fire 2 arrows, it would have been Bolt and Shot, then Heat Seeker +1, right?
Well, I don't know.
So
Well, mathematically, that's better because I want to get the +1. I get it. But
well, you get 2 +1s instead of just 1 +1. So
right.
mathematically, we know there is something after this arrow, and I have access to your deck list. You've already played your 1 Arctic Incarceration, which literally means it's only Codex of Inertia or Frailty, and I haven't seen Inertia yet. So it's just I 100% know it's Codex of Frailty looking after. And
But
I have
my reasoning is like you could do it backwards like this because maybe I do really want you to block that Heat Seeker because I really, really, really need this Bolt and Shot to go off, so I can hit you with something like some 0 cost, like a Searing Shot for actual lethal, get the last card out of your hand, something like that, right? I think there's merit to that play too. Yes, it's statistically, like, mathematically lower, but it's more of like a mind play, right? But it does end up being a codex, so that's a good read, right?
Yeah, I don't mind the other way because in that situation you're just firing something that you would be firing next turn, right? So it's not any actual value gained on your end. It's just strictly I'm just taking more damage on this turn. I'll be taking less next turn, which I'm fine with.
So Tim Man actually says in the chat, so Austin, he says that you always end with the bolt because if they block the first, you get screwed on the second one, apparently.
Well,
so kind of
another
my
reason
is what I get at.
If you had another 0 cost arrow, I think you send this Bolt and Shot in the Chroma every time, right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
It's even just a yellow one, so it's like not even. It's not even that serious, is it? Because I block it all with a sand cover, right?
I'm pretty sure this one is a red one.
I can't see.
But it doesn't.
But
it might be a yellow one, but it doesn't actually end up mattering, right? Because it is going to be a codex, right? So there it is, just to show it.
But the last card in my hand was a Sink Blow. So what I theoretically should have done was block with the Sink Blow, and then in response to the codex, play the sand cover to 2-step the discard. And I did see that line. The problem was I obviously didn't see it that much. What I was worried about was if I played the sand cover in response, right? Then I'm basically incentivizing you to grab Endless Arrow and send it into Chromite because you can't deal any damage to me.
Right.
And I wanted to actively protect Chromite as much as I could. So there's a decision point either way. It's like, do I sacrifice 5 life to save Chromite or not? And so I also liked the idea of holding the Sink Blow to like bottom a 2 block if I need to in the following turn, which is another reason why I led with the sand cover.
Sure.
But I probably should have done it the other way around.
Yeah, just in case. No, I get it.
Right.
Still, it conserves your life total. It's like you're conserving your dragon or your life total. At this stage, maybe the life total is a little more important, right? Because you are a little bit farther behind than I was, I want to say. So
yeah, I was at 8. I think you were at 3. And I would go to 3 after taking the Searing Shot. So basically, the game state difference is: should I be at 8 life without Chromite and you have an Endless Arrow guaranteed in Arsenal, or should I be at 3 life with a Chroma on board?
Right.
Is the net difference. And you, I think, have the popper here again.
Yeah. So statistically, I was like, okay, we're getting pretty late in the game. It's like almost at the point where second cycle. You can kind of see my deck is starting to get super thin, right? Same with yours. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to draw the CNC eventually, like super soon. So that's exactly what happens. You attack with the Chromai. We pop it with CNC and Snatch. And that's another reason to kind of like ignore the Chromai. And maybe that's something that you could have thought about as well with the open deck list, is that I have another popper. If your play line is you want to attack with Chromai, but you know that the risk is a popper, maybe it's worth doing the other line that you're talking about, where it incentivizes me to kill the Chromai. Now I get 0 value out of that popper I draw, right?
Yeah, but if it was any other dragon, probably. But Chromai, I can still progress my turn without it.
Sure.
And just like you're about to go through my graveyard here and count how many 0 cost attacks I have, I actually have a lot. I've only played, I think, 1 Snatch and 1 Dust Up, if I'm not mistaken. So like we still have access to a lot of 0 costs here.
There's a lot. So what I'm doing here in my mind is I am at 3. Yeah, I'm at 3. You're also at 3. I'm thinking, okay, I know you're going to snap this if this hits.
Yep.
Like not even close, right?
Yep. I'm never getting a chance to use snaps ever again.
Yep. I need to keep my hat because my arsenal is hypercritical. It's a Rain Razors, okay? And then I have 3 more cards in my hand. One of them was a popper. I just used it for CNC. I have a blue, I have a Bolt and Shot red, and I have a Searing Shot red. I know if I just keep my entire hand, I'm going to present 14, and the likelihood of you being able to stop that being a 3, super low, right? So that's kind of what's going through my head. So you'll see me pick up the discard in just a second to kind of like math out what the likelihood is that if you do draw a 0, if it's a 0 that is actually playable. And my risk management thoughts were, the safe line is to just block this and then attack you for like 7, right? Let's say, +1 on a Searing Shot, see how you block. I can Rain Razor it if you block poorly, which you're not going to, because I was just like running through this in my mind. If I throw Searing Shot for 5, you're going to block with 3 cards because you're going to see the Rain Razors. Right. And then you're going to do something else, and I'm just going to lose the game. And with the card that you end up drawing, which is an E-Strike, coming in for 7 with me being at 1, that's a disaster. So I'd lose the game on the spot, right?
Well, you would be at 3 instead of 1. But yeah.
But that's true. But I would still have to give you 2 cards. That's bad. I don't have any 3 of a kinds. There's no way that I have a proper pivot. So I decided eventually to just take the line that, hey, this is risky, but this is the game-winning line.
Yep.
As long as you don't draw, specifically Azalea is the annoying one because it's arcane plus damage.
I think anything. I think Azalea, Snatch, Dust Up. I think the math comes out to it. It's about a 20% chance to hit any one of those, right. Snatch, Dust Up, or Azalea. Or even Rabble for that matter, right? Yep. That's another
any break
0
point
that comes in for 4. Yeah, and so we have pretty good chance because there's not a whole lot of cards left.
Right. Yeah, it was hard.
But I just have to snap here no matter what if it hits, because being at such low life, I'm just never going to get an opportunity to ever use snaps again. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right, finally do it. Flip that over. So you go to 2, right? Which is nice. So even better, right? Even better chances that I'm able to just kill you on the follow-up turn. You slow roll the crap out of this, and I was like, you son of a gun, you're stressing me out. Right?
Yeah, we ripped the E-Strike, which was not the 0 cost we wanted.
Now you just have to hope that I don't play Rain Razors.
Well, here the only option, I can't over respect it, so I have to block 6, go to 1 in the event that you rain it, and because I don't have any other choice, right? And I know you're not going to reload because there's no reason to. You can fire any arrow off 2 resources, so we just take the 1 and then you fire that one, and we have a D-react and a 2 block. If we actually live if we have
If it
a
wasn't
3
a
block
searing
with the
shot.
D-react. No, if we had, it
no,
doesn't matter what
'cause
it
you're at
was.
1. Yeah.
I had it was the card in my hand was a rabble, and so if that was any 3 block plus the D-react, we would have got there.
You would have lived.
Yeah,
But your
sorry.
arsenal's still
We wouldn't have got there. We would have survived.
Yeah.
And then it just comes down to you pitched a lot of reds, so we probably still lost the game in that situation.
Sure.
But we would have lived in, just keep trying.
Yep. But no, that was an awesome game. One of the hardest games. This whole Pro Quest felt harder than the Battle Hardened that I top hated. Like, is that sad to say? Like,
I mean, yeah, there were some good players there.
Yeah, it was wild, man. Well, it was mainly because I'm playing a deck and like I was playing to get so many fatigue lists, and I never thought that I would. It's fatigue Katsu is ridiculous for this deck. It's so hard to beat when they go wax on, wax off. You're just like, oh my god.
Yep.
I remember you were like, oh, if you get paired with him, I don't know what you're gonna do. Probably just lose. And I was just like, yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
That was fun though. That was a good time. And then after this game, I was feeling pretty good because I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get the invite regardless because we were just gonna do a split anyway, right? I hate that I had to take it away from you, but you're gonna get one this weekend anyway. What's the difference?
Yeah, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying.
You're gonna get it. Let's see.
It's nothing but up. I top 8'd the first one, top 4 the next one, so we know where the next one lands.
Yeah, you just get the finals and then you take it from there. It's easy. Once you get to the finals, it's easy. Especially if you're the higher seat. You play a Lexi mirror and you go second, you win.
Easy.
Well, cool. I appreciate you going through this with me.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to talk about the other match for a little bit. And then one of these days, we'll do something on the Card Guys channel. Maybe do some deck analysis or something along those lines. But I like this.
Sounds
I like
good.
the structure. Hopefully the viewers like the structure too, talking about the games and the play lines and the ideas and whatnot. I'm probably going to post my list since this is the last week for Lexi anyway. So hopefully some people can get some wins. Are there any improvements that you can think of with my list that you think would just be better against Dromai? I know I've gotten some questions from some people about, how do you get there against Dromai? Like, what do you do?
I mean, you kind of have everything that kind of hates on Dromai. You have the ice quakes, you have the sleep darts, you have basically the only thing maybe that you could add is like maybe replace one of your poppers with a down and dirty, or go with like a lightning press into the matchup. But that gets tricky because then you're just ruining consistency with your 3 of a kind and stuff like that. So it's very risky in that situation. But I think you basically have everything you need to target Dromai in the deck already.
I know Michael Feng, at least in his list, and Brody as well, they play a lot of poppers. They're like on 6, 7, sometimes even 8. I know at one Battle Hardened, Michael Feng was on like 8 poppers for Dromai, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Well, you know what he was scared of? He was trying to beat the crap out of some Bromais, just trying to get there. But
I think 8's a little excessive.
I think it is too. I think for me, this 5 was the sweet spot. I mean, it was the exact number I needed, but like I said, or like we both know, I drew pretty well with going like popper, and then the follow-up turn would be an ice card, and then if my next hand wasn't an ice card, I had the ice card from Arsenal the previous turn anyway, and then play another one. It's good stuff, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you, Nathan, and we'll be rooting for you this upcoming weekend. So we're looking at whatever
the rest of your sleep.
Gold foil that you're gonna be opening. Maybe you get you.
Oh, it's
what do
Rosetta
you
Thorn.
want to open?
Easy.
You want it to be Rosetta Thorn?
Yeah,
Josh already opened
best
one of
weapon in
those.
the
Why
game.
you want to copy him?
Because I just want one.
I want you to open an Anathos.
Hard pass.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but
that way
like,
you can give it to me.
oh no, oh no.
All right, dude. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, enjoy the rest of your stream. All right, boss.
Yeah, bye.
See you.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go over the last bit. Let me look at some chat real quick, though. I apologize. I'm getting a little behind on that. What is up, Jean? We were talking about you high rolling the crap out of me. My only loss. Congratulations on that. What's cracking, Templar? Run to any Azalea? I did not this tournament. I have played against Azalea before. As Lexi, obviously it's not an easy matchup, but if you play it tight, you can definitely get there. Lexi is just inherently broken, and if you can set up like a Rain Razor's turn, you usually have enough pivot. My kind of game plan into Azalea right now, if you would like to see, is I'm playing Perch Grapplers. There's argument to playing Trench in the matchup, but being able to have the third tunic and 3 of a kind, that's pretty important. Arctic Incarceration is extremely strong into Azalea. They're playing so little blues right now that if you drop that, it's instantaneous pivot. That card is super strong against Azalea. Sleep Dart is in there just to be able to get them off their Dominate stuff, because if they just keep high rolling Dominate, of course, that is a problem. So it'll allow you to block a little bit, use your Perch Grapplers and your Hornet Sting at the proper time to be able to use the 3 of a kind, and then kind of pivot back, right? Remorseless, very good card, of course. So on and so forth. So, not like I said, I'll be posting this to the video that goes on YouTube. So feel free to copy, paste, and enjoy. Iron Leg, Jordan, glad to see you. You were at Gamers Guild. So appreciate y'all coming out and giving us a great look at how the competitive scene looks up close. We had a great time. Learned a lot. Geez. Well, thank you guys for hosting. Of course, that was awesome. Nathan guy's pretty neat. Crazy, I've never heard of him before. Well, you've heard of him now at the most popular streamer in Fab, Nighttime Fab, right? Just kidding. Nathan's great. If you have not seen Nathan, and I'm sure every single one of you have at this point, he streams on the Card Guys channel every single Wednesday, so catch him tomorrow, roughly around 8 p.m. Central Time. Every single stream that he has is usually a chart or a tier list. Just kidding. He does some good content. A lot of good meta analysis. Usually what you can do if he says a deck is bad, just go play that deck and you'll probably win Worlds. Okay? So, let's see. 10-man, don't review the last game. I was too chill for proper plays. No, I'm still going to review the game. It was still fun, right? And you played as well as you could with drawing a bunch of full red hands and a bunch of 1-cost arrows. You know what I'm saying? You hit Alexi with dominated red in the ledger both times. They had Arctic in the hand and it shut me down. Yeah, Arctic is so strong. I love Arctic against Azalea. Well, fortunately for you, or I guess unfortunately, since Lexi is one of your good matchups, right? You're not going to have to deal with that anymore. So, all right, back at it. Let's talk about this game. We move over. He's packing up. All right, so we got our cool mats. We're just talking about our tunics here. We're just kind of complimenting each other's tunics. He's got the full art. I got the cold foil alpha, right? We can't decide which one is prettier. You had a lot more agency. You just ignored. Like blocking with an endless. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's an Arsenal card. You want to Arsenal that one. That one's good. All right, let's move forward. All right, so I am the higher seat, so I get to go second. You know, step 1 complete. Get there. Your Lexi is way cooler than mine. It's the 3D one, altered by a local of ours. So you just... I thought this was pretty interesting, and it probably makes a lot of sense if your hand was full red, but you didn't load. You just said pass priority Arsenal, and a lot of times I think there's merit to just like using Quiver, for instance, to get one card out to like if you want to pitch like a non-attack or something along those lines. But when you pass priority, I was just like, heck yeah, let's go. You know, my hand was like decent enough. Got bolt and shot. Of course, you give me 2 cards. Give me 2 reds again. I think it was Endless Arrow for +1. Full rip of the hand. Get an arsenal. I'm pretty happy about that. So Endless Arrow. Of course, I gotta give you the block there. I immediately throw the Hornet Sting. If you let an Endless Arrow hit in the mirror, there are scenarios where it's okay, but I have taken so much damage from just letting my opponent continue to have an Endless Arrow. It's just not fun. The card is extremely, extremely strong. We all know that. But it's like deceptively strong, right? Okay, so we're coming in with a Drill Shot. Drill Shot, of course, amazing. It forces armor out of your opponent immediately, get that breakpoint stuff out. My first target for Drill Shot, if it just hits, is almost always, of course, the Hornet Sting, because they want to block with that immediately. But the next one is going to be Tunic, right? Because you want it to be that you want them to have to block inefficiently with their armor. So giving them another breakpoint block on their perch, they can give their 2. You just give them more options, right? You definitely don't want to put it on New Horizons because they don't want to block with that anyway. It's just wasted value. So this one is go again. I don't actually intend on attacking with the Searing Shot. I'm just trying to get more cards out of Austin, right? So I keep that. I know I have pressure. 2-card hand isn't super, super scary. I'm trying to play into a pretty good like Rainrazor's turn or mitigate a hand that is a bunch of reds, right? So I take this this Bolt and Shot because it is 1 card. If it's another 0 cost, that's pretty good for Austin, but I figured that he probably wouldn't end up actually using that card. The likelihood of it being another 0 cost that he actually cares to play, it's not super high. So now we're going to Fatigue Shot here. Text is not like the most amazing in this matchup, but making a Heat Seeker or something along those lines go from a 5 to a 3, from a 2-card block to a 1-card block, that's honestly not that bad. So if you're not playing the like Hamstring Shot or something along those lines, which I ended up cutting from the list, it's not a bad replacement because Fatigue Shot is good against your Bravos, good against your Levias, and it's good against Icelander as well. I was kind of teching for that for the Bullander. So I have a blue Winter's Bite here. Slams down that Rainrazor. He's like, I don't want this card. It doesn't even block. What do you mean? Who needs it? Check chat just real quick. So that Fatigue Shot mattered because I had a CNC. Yeah. See, card's not bad. Card's not bad. So I'm coming in for 4. Another 4 damage +1. You take that damage. 3 of a kind. Good pivot. See, there's that CNC. So it ended up mattering a pretty good amount. Yep. So that came in for like almost nothing. Then you throw the CNC. So that ate the debuff, right? Or no, it didn't hit at all. I missed that. The pause got me messed up. But still, this requires a 2 block from me. Got my own rain. Drill Shot. In this scenario, I don't usually want to play the Rainrazors unless I have a super critical on hit that's going to happen, maybe like a Heat Seeker, right? In this case, I'm not blowing that on a Drill Shot. It was just a +1 anyway. So now I'm just setting up a good 2 or 3 card arrow turn. Having to get rid of Codex. I think I have another one in hand. Now this one, good pivot turn back, right? Like a free ponder, that's hard. That's hard to deal with. Don't know exactly what you chose at this stage. I think you might have chose +1. Nope, it was definitely go again. We need those streamer like go again dominate tokens. Noticed Austin has a fourth of a Genesis cold foil in his frailty token. He hates Prism as much as I do. It's okay. All right, Bolt and Shot on hit. Good stuff. I do Arsenal. Get the free extra card. And we're just playing it. Yeah, the other card was a Codex, I'm pretty sure. So I was wanting to keep that. Double Codex turns. You hate to see it. One of the best cards in the matchup, of course. Okay, so I snapped this. Yeah, alright. I'm bigger brain than I thought. I had totally forgot about that play. Yeah, so going second, I like the snaps for being able to make plays like this. Pretty strong. Also, mathematically, Snapdragons is typically better, right? You get like a +4, quote unquote, off of a Snapdragons, whereas Perch is always just 2. But Perch can allow it to where you don't have to use 2 cards, which can be effectively like a +4 as well. So there's definitely merit to both. All right, so it's 14, it looks like, to 7. Not down to 10, so I take the 4 from the Heat Seeker. Not a super critical on hit at this point, especially with the frailty. I'm not super upset about that. Bolt and Shot, not looking that great for you. Coming in with a Withering. Because that's coming in for 4, I think it's about time to use the Tunic and a card from hand. Or maybe even 2 cards, because there's a... I guess no. That was the blue one. That was the blue one. So I gave you the 2 block. That was a Withering for 2, not even 4. And then of course, Free of a Kind is gonna be getting there. This was a super fun pro quest. I had a great time. I was super nervous after round 3 when Jean got me good with the Fi. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to play my heart out now and try to get this going. I think I drew more reds on this one. Yeah, I drew more reds, so now we're going to go again with the Infecting Shot. Get 2 cards out of your hand. Super happy about that exchange. Yeah, I see. I don't even go extra card. Got to keep the hand. Got Heat Seeker Pre-Med, looks like. Oh, is that a 3-oak? Maybe another 3-oak. Alright, Infecting Shot. Coming in with the +1. Nope, go again. I was wrong again. Austin, we got to get you one of those go again things. Alright, now we're just presenting the most efficient damage that we can at this point. We're in single digit life totals, 6-4. No reason to do anything else. Thought you were rolling hot after going 3-0 and then went 0-3 into Dash Azalea and 3rd Lexi. Yeah. Those Lexis will get you. Azalea is obviously a very hard matchup as long as they keep chaining the red and the ledgers together. The Dash is just wild, man. They can do some crazy stuff too. So finally got that hat. You Arsenal pass. At this point, this is just it. So I think you played pretty well, Austin. I know you were hyping yourself down. Or you kind of dogging yourself about it. But I mean, I drew some good power cards. I was pretty much in control of the game from the start. There's not much you can really do, right? When somebody puts you on a testing team, you can carry that stuff with you. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I love these tokens, like these fab tokens that I just got. I love these. So cool, so cool. These little tokens. Oh yeah. All right. Yep. And then the end, with you being so low, I activate the quiver, get a red arrow. That's all there is. Super fun. We'll go ahead and move forward. So we got the gold foil. I opened this sucker on stream. Bang. Aether Ironweave. Super cool. Very pretty card. I wish it was an Anathos or a Crater Fist, but you know. It's not bad either. But all in all, fantastic day. Appreciate everybody being there. Being so accommodating. Yeah. This is it. Let me go ahead and put it on the Nightbot just in case anybody wants to, do exclamation deck list. Be more than happy to share that now that we are done. Nightbot. This is the ProQuest deck. Okay, so here's that. So you just type in exclamation deck list. Well, I typed it in wrong. Deck list. There it is. Feel free to use it. Copy paste it. Whatever you want to do. Play it from this link. I don't really care. It's just for a good time. Congrats on the win. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So what I want to do now is I want to play a little bit of Azalea. I want to get my itch scratched for my Bravo ticks and my Ranger, right? I want to do a little bit of both. I want to dominate. Got like my Oldham ticks here, Get some opt ones, get rid of your arsenal. Got some selection, right? Kind of pitch deck if you want to. You get to play Sigil of Solace. Man, I love that card. So that, I'm gonna play a little bit of Azalea. Let's give her a shot. Let's play some Talishar. So we can get some wins, Get some good games. You guys can tell me how to play Azalea. I don't know how to play it. So I'm playing against a Bolton. Right? So Bolton, I have all these buttons mapped out, funny enough. So Lace with Frailty. We don't want these because they're probably on Raiden, right? Infecting Shot is just damage. We'd rather have Disruption. So cards like Remorseless, Red in the Ledger. Command and Conquer. You got to have your Go-Again cards. Go-Again cards are always super, super good. Drill shots and searing shots, having 0 cost are super important. Tar Pit Trap. These always block their stuff for 3. They don't buff it, right? So it could be pretty bad for them. No Sink Below. There could be an argument for playing the Sink Belows over the Tar Pit Traps, but Battering Bolt, don't really want that. I think this is where we want to be. Playing our general equipment. Now, I'm probably going to suck this up. This is like my second game ever with Azalea. I have not practiced this at all. But it'll be fun. I'm having fun either way. I hope you guys are having fun. So we have an Illuminate. So I obviously don't want that to hit. Right? So maybe we just get rid of our Spire Sniping and this buff. I'm not super keen on this one. I'd rather have Lace with Blood Rod. It just does 0 for 5, man. That's good stuff. Then Bolt and Shot allows us to go a little extra go again, do a little bit extra there. So also on hit reload. So I think what we want to do, we want to go load Death Dealer, put in the Bolt and Shot, lace, see what we draw, of course. Boom. Got to read the glide path. It has go again. We don't necessarily want that on top, right? I think we'd rather get another arrow. Alright, so we're coming in for 10, go again. On hit, reload, on hit, make a Blood Rot. Also, we're going to just Remorseless them, potentially. I think there's, yeah, if they're full blocking this, we're pretty happy with that. So arsenal that. Oh yeah, look at this. Super fun. Alright, so we're going to Skullbone. Let's see what's going on. That is a good card. Dominate for 1, so we can Ravenous Rabble. We'll keep that on top. I think I'm actually going to end up Rabbling, maybe Seek and Destroy. And then Azalea, come in for Dominate. And then we can keep... Let's see. So I want to do both. No, we got to pitch this. So we keep this for pitch, maybe? Alright, we'll come in for 4. Alright, they don't care about the 4. Alright, so then... How about... I think it's right to probably Azalea. Seek and Destroy. We can Arsenal this pump rather than the E-Strike. Alright. I'd rather destroy, make them discard their hand and whatnot. We'll just keep this because we want to have our arsenal to be able to use our Skullbone. I think that's what you want to do in general. There's no reason to just like over pump the crap out of this thing when it's likely to hit anyway. Let me change the stream here now. So call Azalea Games. Right. Okay, nice. So we're getting some damage. We are not getting some damage. So it would have been better to have this, it looks like. I'm glad I bought him some of that. So we can get a riddle now. It's pretty nice. So this is coming in. They're charging. Target Trap is great. Here. We can get rid of this knock. Rage's Steel Hand. This is draw a card. Okay, this is pretty good. So we're going to pass priority just in case they want to give it go again. Or no. They already passed priority to us. We don't want to use this. So we can do a little bit of everything, I think. So we want to Skullbone, see what we got. Don't particularly want that. So we play Lace. We knock the Death Whistle. Get a riddle. We arsenal this. We Azalea. Boom. And I could, ooh, I can put a aim counter on my thing too. Heck yeah, let's do that. That sounds cool. And then I want to play a Deadeye. And I'm going to use my Tunic and I'm going to shoot him. Shoot him for 11, dominate, make him discard a card too. Oh my lord. Sick. What does this do? They very well could have a D-React here. Ah, you son of a gun. Fair. Fair. Good on you. What does this do? 3 go again. I'm not super concerned about that. They had all the things. Reinforce is cool. Yeah, sure. I'll take your damage. Alright, let's Ravenous Rabble. There's not really a good way to get this card and play it. Yeah, we don't... Not having a pump is pretty bad. Maybe I should have blocked a little bit last turn. I think I'm going to Arsenal this Bolton Shot, keep this card in hand. I don't really want to do anything else. Alright, this card makes it where you prevent 1 damage in addition. Let's get rid of that. Bottom that. We got Go Again card. Naming Bravado. Does not have inherent Go Again. It's okay. I'm gonna give it Go Again. Yep. Raiden for 4. Because it's a Lumina. Okay. Maybe it's time to start blocking a little bit. What do we want to do next turn? What do we do? Ravenous Rabble into... Potential Pump. We can Remorseless into Codex of Frailty, maybe? Probably not, actually. So we need both. We need to go Death Dealer, play Remorseless, have this. We can play the Pump off of that. So we might be able to block with this card. But we don't want to do that because he charged. Not until next hand. Bolton's goofy. Yeah, just... It's not really a good answer to blocking, right? So you can get more stuff going on. God, I'm getting rolled here. That card is not good. It's Azalea. I'm like okay with a pump. That's pretty good too, actually. So let's Rabble. What if I... What was the top card? Bolton Shot? Yeah, we don't want to draw a card. There's no reason to do that. So we can go 5. We'll load. Draw. It's not really a good way to do this either, so... I think it just has to be Go Again, play Remorseless, keep the Bolton Shot. Wow. Okay, we probably just dead. It's fair. I mean, not blocking. Got another Lumina. That would make sense. Probably Snapdragon Scalers on this turn. Or just Big Buff. Big Buff would be good too. It's already got plus. They're going to send in a pretty good amount. We don't really need this other arrow. Probably need the resources. Let's block with 1 card. It's only like a block 2 kind of. Oh, it's aluminum? Yeah. That's unfortunate. Probably just nothing I can do. Well, just let him hit. Block the next one. Come on, chat. You're supposed to tell me how to play this deck. We're not doing it. Screw it. Make it bigger. Why not? They had some very key reinforce. Alright. No, not rain. No. I mean, we get blown out by Beacon. I'm not playing around that. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunate. What did they play? Did they play something else? Oh, Valiant Thrust. Alright, GG. We tried. You only get better by losing. Rattlers. I'm just getting all the nastiness, guys. Getting all the nastiness. Okay, against Bravo, it's like play everything in the deck. I don't exactly know how to do the anti-fatigue combo stuff. I've heard there's some pretty cool things that you can do with rain razors and whatnot, but I am not smart enough to do that. Not yet. Oh wait. Come on, I need you to restart. Sorry about it. Okay. Got one loss. Playing all this stuff, playing our blocking equipment, saying let's go. Scent Gaming. Alright, well I'm just super duper wrecked. Look at this hand. What a hand. They're on 60 cards though. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe. I'm just gonna get dominated to sleep. Look at that. It's already happening. How about that? It's not really anything we can do next turn. I kind of want to just keep my tunic. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to just immediately block with that stuff. I don't want to. Keep a tar pit trap for next turn. That's unfortunate, but maybe that's wrong. Do I want this card? Probably not. But it is a resource card, so maybe so. We'll keep the tar pit. Arsenal that. Got a blue. So we didn't need this resource card. Is it a May? You may put. Okay. So, disable is literally going to do nothing, so I can go Death Dealer, put this in there, premeditate, have the combat trick. Actually, that's not bad. Alright. Tar pit trap. Battering bolts. Nice. I like deep reacts. Deep reacts are cool. Depending on how they block, I can even save this and use the sink below to get rid of it. Save it for later. Ooh, we're getting a crippling out of it. Nice. Because I have a ponder, I'm just gonna like do the thing. Okay, Command and Conquer. Well, pretty aggravating. So they got Command and Conquer and a blue, so we're gonna end up blocking whatever they do. Funny enough, I'm gonna put that in there. This plays Command and Conquer, so neat. Back at ya. Carpet Trap's pretty good. It being yellow is pretty strong. Nice little versatility. Okay. Yeah, they're just like, screw this. Luckily, we have the sink below. If they're going 5-card hand, which, yeah, they definitely are. You don't have to worry too much now. Rouse the Ancients is a little aggravating, but yeah, it'll be okay. Like this card. So what I could do is I could go Remorseless, sink below. I could Tunic, Death Dealer, put this in play, have this ready to go. Potentially, or if I draw a pump, that's great. Either way, we could play the Command and Conquer again. This is very good. I think we keep the Perch still, so we don't need this Remorseless. There's really no reason to play it. They might be on Lunging Press or something crazy. No, they just drew too many reds. Over here. Okay, so it's another arrow. We'll just come in for 3. We're gonna try to get a reload, and we'll just play this Infecting Shot, I suppose. Cool. Cool, cool. I'm more inclined to play this, so I think I want to keep it in hand. I mean, that's a card that does nothing, right? So, do this into this off of Premeditate, sure. Rain Razors on top. That's fine. We want that. Sure. Screw it. More Ponder? I'll take it. That's pretty cool. Ah, we got a blue. Oh well. Staunch response. Ooh. Doing the whole shebang. Nice. I'm gonna play this just because we get the Ponder anyway. It's gonna be a Spire sniping, which is nice, so we'll be able to figure out like what we want to dominate next turn, maybe. I would keep this card if I didn't have a Ponder, for sure. Taking one card, so they're probably just gonna Arsenal and pass. Yeah, we got a lot of arrows that we don't want. So we're gonna be searching for... Sorry. Mint to soul, bone, new, mind. Okay. So we got these two. It's going to be the exact same thing, funny enough. Same thing. So we'll do this. Going to do this. We're going to go ahead and I think we'll do the drill shot. Go ahead and lace. This will get like most of the cards out of their hand. I guess technically we could have infecting shots a little bit more, but I kind of want to force this armor as much as I can. Playing more reacts. Interesting. Another react, sure. I don't know. So I do this. Can load. We'll look at the top. Maybe I'm supposed to keep this. I have the sigil as well, so. I don't want to keep that. Then I might just like seek and destroy this red in the ledger. Or I can make this infecting shot like stupid big. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Let's play another one. What card is on top that we want to keep? It is an arrow, so I guess we'll keep it on top. This deck is hard to play. This is a lot harder than Lexi was. We're getting the whole shebang. I like the whole shebang. Yeah. Red staunch. Sounds pretty cool. We don't want this. Yeah. Hello, Frogler. Good to see you. Interesting decision point in the Arsenal last turn. Had you known the card on top, would you have Arsenal the infecting shot? Sorry, I missed the I think I missed that. That was probably 2 turns ago. What was the difference between the two? You're talking about the Red and Ledger turn? Yeah, I probably should have Arsenal the infecting shot instead of the Red and Ledger. I'm just gonna play the sigil. I think that's probably where we want to land. Then we will Tunic, Death Dealer, this card, got another sigil. That's pretty cool. Pump. Pump. Bolton shots. Okay, we got a sink below coming. Yeah. I'm gonna Arsenal the Sigil. Sigil is cool. I really like Sigil in this deck. Okay, lots of E-strikes. Got your own Sigil. Not huge on that one. I think we probably need to bottom that. Let's go again. Then we can Azalea, maybe. Maybe we go again with this. Get rid of this. Azalea, because we can pump. We still pitch this if we need to. Again. Okay, Azalea. Did I not bottom that? Put a card on bottom. Okay, I just got another one. Neat. And it's a riddle. Then we can just play this. Is that likely better? Probably is. I think it gets more cards out of their hand. Let's do it. Because I feel like they're trying to dominate something. And that is a problem. Oh, okay. We're just getting the whole thing. The whole thing. Oh, this card. Or this hand is really good. Too bad we're going to have to basically full block whatever they do. So there's no shot that we ever possibly do anything about this. I think the only hope is to, like, keep this card, maybe. Alright. Cool. Cool, cool. I guess we just do this. I don't like it, but We just lead them with full hands. That's not cool either. Mm-hmm. Alright, no direct. Dominates. Another one. That is good. Okay, so because it's dominated, I think we probably just get rid of this. We can play some Blood Rots. And then play this, have another arsenal ready to go. Yep. Just have to kind of make this play, get rid of our stuff. It's unfortunate. Oh, okay. I don't hate that arsenal. Do we just keep the bracers? Let's see. So this is coming in for 8. They give a breakpoint here and here, 2 cards. They don't care. Yeah, we need to do it. Not a blue, please. Well, damn it. Whoops. Maybe we just play the Codex, actually. Just because it rips a card out of their hand. That's probably important, actually. There was a Spire Sniping on top. That's what we're gonna get. That's not a bad, well, we can't flip it, actually. I feel like I'm fumbling the bag constantly. This deck's hard. I need to watch more content. Got a Spinal Crush. Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, we're just kind of having to play a value game, I guess. We'll have this for their Spinal, which is nice. So... Nope. We'll go again. I'm just gonna fire 2. Because we need this in Arsenal. To dominate. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna get ya. Okay, so we're obviously gonna have to block here. So maybe we block. What do we block with? I want to keep this card. We could knock the Death Whistle. Probably don't want to knock the Death Whistle, actually. Go here, play this pump. Don't know the top, can't figure out the top. They took the spinal for their arsenal, if that's what you're talking about. So, pump, knock. No, we want the dominate off of that. It has to be that. So riddle is where we want to go. So here, then, yeah. Yeah, we just need the resource. Why would they take Crippling Crush? Crippling Crush is the easiest to attack with. It's like 2 cards, dominate. It also just time walks us, which is like super insane, of course. So I don't disagree with it. Actually, we can't do what I was thinking with the knock, because I need to reload to be able to use the Azalea. So maybe I just have to... YOLO here. This card in there. Sleep Dart doesn't do a lot. Red and Ledger is the best, for sure. Yeah. I don't really know. I just have to bank that they don't have the last sink below, I guess. But they probably have unmovable too. Like, this just can't really do anything. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That is just dead. GG. Man, this deck is hard. We know this is a bad matchup and stuff, too. I'm going to try one more. The next time, I'll be a little more prepared. I'll play a little bit off stream, too. Reinar. What do we do against Reinar? Okay, no frailty or battering bolt. Sounds good. Curse Nest is cool. like that card a lot. When I saw this first spoiled, I was like, oh man, Azalea is going to be nuts. So good. We got a riddle like immediately. That's pretty cool. Alright, 1. Oh, it's a 2. Dang, dang, dang. Okay. I didn't want to block with that one anyway. Alright. I need you to make me not block with my rain. Thank you. That's good. Easy. That was like the best 2 intimidates for me. For sure. For sure. I can't block that one. Strong. Okay, well. I have no arrow. Took all my arrows. Probably going to pitch this premeditate to be able to load this Bolton shot, play both of these, and then probably just blocking with this tar pit trap. Man, I guess we'll just YOLO the freaking... Yeah, you're playing Skull Crushers. Just YOLO swinging. I can't block. They have another action point after this one too. Golly. I just gotta do something back, you know? Another go again? Sure. Alright, all the way to 22. Fun. I actually kind of like that card. So we can go like boom, boom, boom. We'll top that. It's dominated. We can put an aim counter on it. We have extra resources, and then we just boom, boom, boom. I needed to block with that. I forgot to block. So many ponder. Nice. Probably keep this one in hand. Just because we can opt with it. And we just keep that, just in case we get a 0-cost arrow or something along those lines. We'll get Tunic. We don't really need all of these cards, I don't think. Interesting. Fun, inertia, and blood rots. Good stuff. Might be paying for the blood rot. Nope. Look at him. Undoing everything. Okay. I guess they wanted to pay for their blood rot, but Let's see. Yeah, that's what they did. How do I... Can I change it to manual mode? I don't think so. I think it has to be private. Start of this turn. Start of previous turn. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's see what we got. Got a lace. Well, that's not an arrow. So, bottom that. I'm gonna aim for the opt here and try to get an arrow. There's an arrow, so we're top that. We are going to use the Azalea, but I'm going to, I think, go again. Yeah, I have to go again because I have to use the ability. Okay, we're going to block out of them like that. But there's no reason to put an aim counter on this one. They already have all of their armor and stuff. I guess I'll put it on their tunic. Golly. Rolling the 5s and the 6s. This doesn't... Oh, it does have... He has an action point. Okay, sure. Take it. Take it. Take it. Alright, not my sink below. God damn it. The worst. I guess I'm just gonna block with these two. I don't really care about that, but I can like... I can Death Dealer, Bolt and Shot, keep the sink below, potentially. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Alright, we'll see if we get a pump. Come on. Ah. Rip. It's okay. That is a good use of scowling. For sure. We're still doing this though. We got to arsenal this. Surely they don't triple into him, right? Watch 6 again or something crazy. Okay, it's just a 1 action point this time, thank God. And we have the D-React, which is sweet. Honestly, I can get rid of this. I don't really want this sigil anymore. Just get a pump. We're gonna stop the barraging buff as well. It's like a full block. Put a card on bottom. Codex is decent. I'm like happy with that. I like Snapdragons. The drill shot. We can like attack him with a riddle too. Oh yeah. And then gas. Oh, another one. I mean, yeah, we just do the thing, I guess. This is like the most aggressive Rhinar I've ever seen. I hope there's not a blue. I'm gonna crack this. It's like the turn. Actually, I have a command and conquer. I have 2 floating, right? Get rid of this. Fuck yeah. It's way better. Well, hold on. I'm gonna crack it. Do it. Yeah. Woo. Command and conquer for 8. I could have Skullbone too. Dang, that could have like guaranteed. Oh, he's playing Berserk combo. Oh. Draw a card, discard a card. Oh, it's double discard. No, don't do it. That's rough. Oh, it's not double discard. Go to this. So I'm looking for a pump on the top. Just give you these 2 because it stops the damage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Be a pump. Yep. Could even be a better arrow, honestly. We'll top that. It's a pretty good bonder target as well. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Probably get rid of one of these. What do you do? Yeah. We'll take that card. Another arrow for us. And destroy. All right, another 11. This is pretty fun. Need to get better at like setting up proper dominates, but I couldn't really know. I would never take like that shot this turn. This could be a really good turn. If I get pump plus Bolton shot, I can Codex turn. I got 2 go again cards, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Blood Rot first. Oh, okay. Well, GG. We got 1 win. Like I said, I'm going to practice this a little bit more, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it a little bit more next time. I just have a good time playing this. That's like the 4th game I played of that ever, so please be kind if you comment and tell me how bad I am. I know I'm bad. You don't have to tell me. Okay, guys. Well, I'm glad you were here. I'm glad that you guys stuck around this long. I hope you enjoyed the game analysis on my ProQuest, and I'm going to post in the YouTube description the deck list so you can use it this weekend yourself. All right. Well, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.